I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing Petal from Chris Couch Games. Petal is a two-player game of building out a shared garden while attempting to score your secret goals and public goals better than your opponent does theirs. Before we dive into it, this channel is sponsored by Allplay, more about them at the end of the video. In addition, this is a prototype, all rules and components of exchange, and I'll have a link to the crowdfunding campaign down below. This is actually a two-parter of Petal and Garden Club. I'll have reviews for both up on the channel, and of course check out the campaign page. In Petal, players are going to be given a secret goal card. This defines what it is that I am trying to do, well, differently than my opponents. For example, I will get 1 point per rose in my garden, 9 points if I have 6 blue flowers, 6 points if I have 3 of those in a row, which we'll talk about that, and then 9 points per cluster of sunflowers. Those are going to be the flowers I'm trying to score, and this is my own secret information that other players do not have as I attempt to build out the garden. On your turn, you're going to take 2 cards from this display. One card will go in front of you as a scoring card. So for example, looking at this, I'm already getting 1 point per rose, so I think I'm going to take this one over here, and now I'm getting an extra point per rose. So I'm doubling up. I'm really committing to those roses over here. This is something that the players do know this, they don't know this. So secret and public information. I'll take that card, put it in front of me, and then I'll place a card into the public display. Now there will be 2 cards starting off in the public display to have a feel to go ahead and start us off with, but then from there, you're going to be taking a card to your own cards, as well as placing a card into the public 4x4 grid that we are building. It's worth noting, you can do that in any order. You don't have to take first and then build. You can do it in any order you want, but 2 cards, 1 to you, 1 to the public display. I'm going to go ahead and take a look over here, and if I'm trying to build this row of sunflowers over here, I kind of want to get that. This is a little ruined right now, but we'll see. Maybe we can salvage it later. We do have some roses coming in over here, and we also have this sunflower, which I can possibly make use of later, so we'll take this. I also want to get 3 of these in a row, so it's good to get that out early. Do I care about the blues? The blues could be, you know what, we're not going to overthink it. We're just trying to show you how to play the game. I'm going to place this down. I don't care about white flowers, so I don't actually want to pair those up. I think what I'll specifically do is I will place these. I'm overthinking this. I'm overthinking this. I don't know why. I'm just gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna place this down over here. This is probably the wrong move, but it is what it is. I'm spending too much time thinking about this. All right, that's my turn. My opponent takes their turn. They're gonna go ahead and have this card for the scoring cards. They want a bunch of these over here. They also want to get. They want those. They don't care about blue. They don't mind these, so they might go ahead and take this one. Now they're gonna take this card and flip it, because you could take from a display and flip it, and you do know that if there's a rose on this side, the other side is rewarding you for roses. The center of a card is also the scoring of the other side. They're going to take that, and then they're going to go ahead, they're trying to build these into the garden, so they're going to take this, and they're going to place it down like so, placing that to start building a quadrant to work their way for those. On my turn, back to me, I'm going to take this one, and again, I'm trying to get 3 in a row over here, 6 points if I have 3 in a row, and for this specific ones, I need the center flowers. I can't score from the small flowers, so I'm going to take this because I can build the center flower out, and I can go ahead and put that there, hoping to make myself a rose, because I am doubly committed on this rose, on these roses, on this very empty of roses board. From there, I also take a card and put it in front of myself, and because of how this grid does look like it's building up towards those, I can't get those. I can get any of these 4 types over here, which means I can double down on red again, which feels like a mistake, but we're going to do it. We're going to double down on red, taking this card. My opponent's going to take their turn. Again, they are trying to work their way towards this over here, so they want to get a bunch of those. They can take this and put it down like so. That's also going to help me. They don't know that, but I do want blue flowers, but they are working their way towards a quadrant. The quadrant's not actually what's going to help them over there, but they are going to have that over there. That's the basic back and forth. You are building a 4x4 grid. The grid is defined as you build it, meaning those 2 cards you place out, you don't have to build around them. You could just build in any direction once a card is placed down into the grid on any side. So if I place this card here, then the grid's going to be 4 this way. If I place a card here, then this is going to be the 4x4. You define the grid, but you're building a 4x4 shared grid, which means you're also going to be collecting 7 of these scoring cards that are going to give you extra points you're scoring for, in addition to your own little thing over here. I'll rapidly fill out the garden just so you can see how this goes. I'm not going to overthink it. We're going to place this down over here. We're going to place this down over here. We'll grab a card, placing this here, like so. I'll try to find one more card so I can specifically show you one element over here. I want to try to show you, there we go, we're going to place this down there, and then you're going to continue building out that grid. So, in this hypothetical, the grid's not complete right now, but I'll just show you how things are going to score. Right now, I would score 1 point for every rose. So right now, there's only 1 rose currently on this grid. Again, you would have a full complete grid. I'm going to score 6 if I have 3 in a row. I have 1, 2, 3, that's 6. I get 9 points per cluster. So if I could have built multiple clusters, unfortunately I did not. is not able to do so, and then 9 points if you have 6 more blue flowers. We have 1, 2 right now. Again, this is not a complete grid. I just want to show you how this scores. The only other thing to note is going to be the apron cards. You're going to start the game with an apron card, which gives you an ability. At some point in the game, you can play it to rotate 1 flower card in the grid. So for example, if I'm trying to build towards the sunflowers, well, I don't see if it actually helps right now, but you know, it doesn't help right now. I can't use that for that, but you can use a card over here to try to adjust something to help you score things. You're going to start the game with 1 aprons, and then in this game, you are playing either a best of 3 or best of 5, and whenever you lose a round, you're going to get an apron card that's going to help you out for the next round. That's the basic idea of how you play Petal. You are building out a shared grid. You are trying to optimize your scoring versus your opponent. That's going to be through a secret card that you're filling as objectives, as well as every turn drafting a card for the public grid and drafting a card for your private scoring. That's basically how you play Petal, which means it's time for my review. I like the game. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. It has you drafting cards trying to build towards a grid. You have these multiple things you're trying to go for. You kind of instinctively want to go for all, but sometimes it's about choosing what you're going to let go. Sometimes it's not worth getting the 6 points for this if you can instead score 9 points for having 6 of the same flower type, of that specific flower type. Especially if you lean into that by trying to build up, getting a bunch of cards that match your personal goals and doubling up on those things while also paying attention to what your opponent's doing. Because I don't know what my opponent's doing, but what I do know is because there's 4 of these scoring conditions, you're always going to have some overlap with your opponent. So if I can pick up that, oh, you know, they're trying to build these things. So if I see them working the way, actually, interestingly enough, we actually both had the shared grids of sunflowers. That's very unusual. I have not seen that happen yet. But whatever cards you do have, if I see you going for a lot of these, well, great. I can work my way towards that in these. Over here, same, we have these reversed as well. So in general, paying attention to what your opponent's doing and then feeding into that strategy is a big part of things. If they're drafting a bunch of roses, well, if you can make sure there's not roses on the board, you can undercut them and draft other cards. On the other hand, you can just go ahead and let them build that rose board and draft a bunch of rose scoring cards yourself. So there's a lot of ways to try to play off what your opponent is doing and trying to do a lot with not a ton. There's only 7 turns in the game. You're going to be building the grid, 2 cards start on the grid. There's 16 cards total, so it means you only have 7 turns to contribute your special cards to the grid. Those apron cards over here, that 1 time per round apron card lets you score something and adjust something. Those can be incredibly powerful, helping you switch something so that it's very beneficial for you. This overall, the game is very satisfying for a quick, punchy 2-player game that gives you a lot of things to strategically consider while giving you a 20-minute playtime for it. Well, I should say it's about maybe 10 to 15 minutes per individual round you play. If you play a single round, you can play it in 10 minutes. If you're playing a full arc of best of 3 or best of 5, then it certainly can run longer, but each individual game session is pretty straightforward. As far as things I don't like in the game, the only thing I don't like are the apron cards. Now, to be clear, I want there to be apron cards and I want them in the game. I don't like the way they're handled, and I mean that on 2 fronts. The first thing I don't like is in these cards, some are simply better than other cards. For example, we have swap 2 flower cards on the grid. Do not rotate. Swap 2 flower cards in the grid, you may rotate. That's simply better than the other card. So why would you have cards that are like this random ability you get and I get, and yours is strictly better? Now you could argue, well, it's going to the loser, so it doesn't really matter, but that first round certainly does matter. And even as you go, if I keep getting cards when I lose that are not as good as the cards when you win, I don't know why. Like different is one thing, strictly better feels like I don't like that. I feel there can be more room for creativity on how to use these cards. Additionally, I don't like the way that they're utilized in the game as well, in the sense that to a certain extent, it's almost always in my best interest to use it as late in the game as possible. Ideally, if I'm second player, and use it on my very last turn. So the structure of how these currently exist, I do want the apron cards to exist in the game. As they currently stand, I would probably house rule how I utilize these, because right now I feel like there are better ways to utilize apron cards, and right now I don't like the balance of them or how they're used in the game. As far as final thoughts on Petal, overall I enjoy this. This is quick, it's punchy, it's fast, it's fun, gives you a lot of strategy in a small box, and also it's visually satisfying to build out a little garden on the table while having like these scoring cards that give you different ways to score. I find this very interesting. Again, I'm curious if there's other ways you can add more scoring cards that don't always fall the way into that exact pattern. Like I can easily see a small expansion where it's more interesting scoring cards that are not always 1, 2, 3, 4 as far as the structure of them, and that could be something you add in as an advanced mode. But like this concept over here, I really enjoyed this concept and how it feeds into this grid. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoy these, with the main gripe being that I should be clear. I need to be careful when I'm doing prototype reviews. If they can clear up the apron card situation and or make this better, I would give it a 4 out of 5. As it stands right now, this would probably be a 3.5 out of 5 because I feel these could be better. I will say I've played this game a decent amount since getting it, and I've already started house ruling my own little ways of utilizing those, so it's in that weird space. But sometimes I get excited about where a game could be. And again, this is a very good game. It's a very good game. I just think this feels a little not streamlined and not smooth within the context of an otherwise great game. So a 3.5, that would probably be a 4. This is reviewing prototypes. Anyways, as far as other game recommendations, definitely check out Patchwork if you're looking for a classic 2-player game. And then also, if you like games where you build things out on a shared landscape, check out Paris, Le Site de la Mirror if you're looking for a very cutthroat game. It's also Patchwork adjacent at the same time, but you're building a shared landscape trying to optimize for how it's going to favor you. And then I mentioned at the beginning that Allplay is a channel sponsor. If you go to allplay.com, you can find games both from Allplay as well as from partner publishers, and you can get everything for $4 flat rate shipping in the US. But check out Iliad from Bitewing Games for a game that's going to be another 2-player back and forth game about building a grid and trying to optimize your scoring within that grid. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.